They've had some problems in other protests with people coming and heckling or trying to start confrontations. So I would simply ask that we not engage with people. Oftentimes silence is more powerful than words. Let's spread up and down the streets, all directions.
I just wanted to put my money where my mouth is and back up what Angela Davis has said about it is not enough to be quietly non-racist. Right now we have to be vocally anti-racist. We have to speak up loud for the people who have been trying and yelling and praying for help for hundreds of years and still haven't gotten it. So we need, as white brothers and sisters, we need to be out here supporting our black community and telling them we are here, we are speaking up, and we are there for them.
I'm so glad that this was organized, and I'm glad to be here to support it.
Black Lives Matter.
There will be a change.
It's my first protest, and it's very emotional. We have to vote in 2020.
I just say praise God for everyone who participated and who would like to, who's not here.
Black Lives Matter. The kids are the people who've fallen right now. And
Right.
as a mom, it means a lot to me to think about and make sure those kids are okay. Even though, I mean, there's so many people that this has happened to, and you don't look at the kids that are still alive and having to deal with all this. So as a mom, my heart goes out to those kids.
I am holding a sign for a 50-year-old woman who was mentally ill and was supposed to be taken to a mental facility, but she was shot instead.
The sign that me and my bro are holding is of Athena Jefferson, a 28-year-old woman who was shot in her own apartment after a concerned neighbor called. She was just playing video games with her 8-year-old nephew.
I've read online that people in Kingwood specifically keep asking why are we still out here, but I feel like you should change the question and ask what more have you learned about it and why aren't you also out here?
I'm here for George, and I'm here for everybody in this country right now. Your generation and the last 2 generations are rebuilding this country, and I'm so proud of you. And I'm just here to back you.
I'm a mother.
You're a mother. That says it all, doesn't it? That says it all.
There needs to be an open dialogue. There needs to be more conversation, put people in uncomfortable positions to make them say something and make a change.
I don't think it's right for George Floyd to be murdered in front of people because he didn't deserve that. He was a great man, and those police officers just did it anyway.
Botham Jean was killed in his own home. He was an accountant at Price Cooper Waterhouse, and a woman who was trained as a militaristic police officer mistook his apartment for her own.
Right.
And she shot him.
Grew up in my immediate family. We have mixed racial members, and I've seen what they've been through. I'm from the privileged community just because my skin is white. We all bleed the same color. We all deserve the same respect and the same opportunities. And I'm gonna cry now. I worked for the airlines. I'm retired. I traveled all over the world, and I've seen this happen time and time again in every country I've ever been in. And no one should be persecuted or disrespected just because of the color of their skin. We're all people. We're all interrelated. We're all brothers and sisters. It's time everyone realizes it, and it's time we band together and help one another.
My name's Holly. I live in Kingwood. I'm holding a sign for Tamir Rice, who was shot and killed by police for playing with a BB gun. This behavior is wrong, and it's not just wrong in Minneapolis or in Washington, D.C. or New York. It's wrong everywhere, and it's time that people in Kingwood show that we're upset too.
Professor.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis, and I've taught at Lone Star College since 1984. And it's just so important to be here this morning with people who have good hearts and who want to make a powerful statement. And we may be in Kingwood, but we're actually in Houston, which was the place where Mr. George Floyd grew up. It's so important to be here today and to pay honor and homage to him.
My name is Carl Matherly. I'm out here because any society that doesn't have justice for one of its citizens doesn't have justice for any of its citizens.
This has been a very well attended event.
The whole view, it was pretty good.
Yes, it's a very well attended event. Wow. Now folks, the sign that she's holding, that is prescient. That is real.
Black Lives Matter. And if you don't think so, it's time you wake up.
I just hope that people can realize that love takes work.
and we need to show our love. And that's a big thing, you know. Even in our normal families, we have to work at our love. And as a family, as a human race, we need to work on it.
That is present.
There's our future right there. Well, that's Penelope, my granddaughter, her best friend. And they got to have a future. We got to make it happen, man.
This time, it's almost like maybe it's just a matter of this is time. This is the time. And so we want to grab hold of that time and make it last as long as we can. And again, hopefully see some action from this.
Look.
So it's on here.
Black Lives Matter.
I'm learning about this. I'm not from here, but it's really sad.
This was a mask done by a visual artist. It says "I can't breathe." So Jesse Fezia, and I'm here because I adopted my daughter from Uganda, Africa, and you know, over there most of the population is black, and so having to come over here and teach her, she's been here in America for 3 years, about the racism. So I brought her over here and having to teach her about, you know, the heightened racial tension. Obviously it's gone on for, unfortunately, since the founding of our nation, but it seems to be exacerbated under President Trump. I can't understand what it's like to go through that, but one of the comments that stood out to me with one of my friends from Uganda, which is in Africa for anyone who doesn't know that, is that over here in Uganda, we go to the police when we have a problem. You know, we're not afraid to go to the police when someone steals or someone whatever, and over there, like, you don't have anyone to go to if you're black, and that was really poignant for me.
I just want people to remember her name. Go for a job interview. She doesn't turn her turn signal on, and she gets pulled over, and she's dead, 3 days later.
Yes.
I just want people to remember her name.
I have two names here.
Yes.
This is Dominic Clayton. She was killed while she was sleeping. It happened in Mississippi. This one died of dehydration inside his cell.
Yes.
In Missouri. Black lives really matter, and we need to respect. We need to learn to respect and actually reduce the police brutality. It's very, very important.
Look,
to have justice, we need to treat everybody fairly, particularly our black brothers and sisters.
I'm here for Tatiana Jefferson. She was only 28 years old. She was shot in her home in October in Fort Worth, Texas. The police officer was charged, thank goodness, but that's very rare that that is happening, and that's why I'm here. Black Lives Matters, and we want justice and equality for all.
So I think it's really great that this was put together. My colleague put this together, and I think it's really important, particularly in communities like Kingwood, which are, you know, predominantly white, for this kind of message to be put out there, and it's being put out there in a really peaceful way, which is wonderful. We're getting all these approving honks, which is great, and yeah, I'm proud to be a part of it. I think it's particularly important that you know, those of us who are more privileged, you know, set the right examples for our families and for our communities.
I just was driving by through this intersection, I saw it, and I was just so proud of Kingwood, so I stopped. These people were kind enough to give me their sign, because obviously I wasn't prepared, but I'm just really proud to see my Kingwood neighbors out here standing up. I'm outraged that as a country we have still not solved the problem. You know, we are still seeing black Americans treated differently, brown Americans treated differently, and it's something that a lot of us in white suburban areas just don't experience, and we need to stand up and stand with our friends of color.
I'm Egberto Willies, host of Politics Done Right, an independent news program. I post several news videos of interest every day. I ask you so kindly to subscribe to my channel, and please leave me some comments. Thank you very much.